Welcome to Gaps and Glue. My name is Marc Simmons, and I have Wayne Moore here from the Insurance and Wealth Management Center. Welcome, Wayne.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
So today, guys, we're going to talk about our home and auto component of our business at the Insurance and Wealth Management Center. Wayne Moore is our senior home and auto specialist. And one of the things we're going to be bringing to the market and talking about in our series is different components of home and auto. The one topic we're going to talk about today is the 7 deadly perils of a home and auto policy, what you may or may not be covered for. How does that sound, Wayne?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So in a kind of an opening remarks, there's different things that people experience with their home that they have insurance for that they would expect the insurance policy would cover, right, Wayne?
Yeah, you would think so.
So tell me a little bit about the different things that an homeowner's insurance policy, might cover in the event of a fire or what does it cover, Wayne?
Well, basically, a standard homeowner's policy covers the main stuff, but a lot of the extras, not so much.
Okay. So I guess, if you had a tree fall on your house, would that be covered?
Yeah, that's a standard peril on a homeowner's policy. That would be the wind would be causing that. Yep.
Okay. So when you say peril, what's a peril?
Sure. Peril is just what caused the accident or damage. So basically where it originated from.
Okay. So give me some ideas of what a peril might be.
So on a basic homeowner's policy, a standard peril would be wind, fire. Those would be the main ones. Yeah.
What about like
hail too?
Hail?
Yeah.
We've had a bunch of hailstorms around here lately.
Those have been common lately.
So that's so like, let's say a hail hit like a car. Would that be covered under your homeowners?
No, actually, that would be covered on your auto policy.
That's your auto policy.
Two separate.
Okay. What about like if my pipes backed up or a pipe burst in the house, or we have cold weather here and we hear it all the time where people's houses lost heat for whatever reason and we got pipes that blew up. Tell me a little bit about how that would be covered.
Yeah, it actually reminds me of the time we lost power. I think it was during COVID or maybe the beginning of COVID. We were out of power for, what was it, like a day and a half? Some places were like 2-3 days.
Yeah.
So that was like in the middle of winter. I think it was like 2020, 2021. So we had a lot of people calling regarding their pipes bursting, freezing over, that kind of thing. The pipes bursting or the pipes freezing over and stuff like that, those are common perils. However, the damage that it causes after the burst are things that are optional coverages, so things that aren't in a standard homeowner's policy, but they should be.
Okay. What about like natural disasters? What about, you hear about flood. Flood's always an interesting topic, right? Because have a huge rainstorm and you got river flowing out from the back of your house. And
apparently here in Canandaigua, we are in a flood zone now, or at least parts of Canandaigua. So that's pretty interesting. Areas of the country that used to never be part of the flood zone are now part of the flood zone. But in terms of flood coverage, your homeowner's policy does not cover anything with flood. Nothing at all.
Nothing. Zero.
Nothing.
So if somebody has a ravine in the back of their house, we have a major storm and it comes and it floods their house.
Yep. They have to actually purchase flood insurance, which is separate from their homeowner's policy.
Did not know that. That's good to know. Okay. Well, what if we had a flood and my house got just inundated with water, and then after the water recedes, I got mold in my house? What about like mold and, like kind of water damages from mold, things of that nature? How would things like that be covered under a home policy?
Well, basically, mold takes time to develop. It's not something that just occurs, a week, 2 weeks, a month after water damage.
Okay.
It usually takes a long time. So in terms of mold, any way that you can prevent that, because it's not a covered peril. It's not a standard peril. It's not a standard coverage on a homeowner's policy.
Okay. All right. So mold's out.
Yeah, it basically, in order for it to be covered, it has to be sudden. So if something happens to your house, whether it's water damage or whatever, it has to be sudden. So it can't be something that develops over a long period of time.
Gotcha. Good to know. Did not know that either. What about, I have like sewers in the sewers. Sometimes some of these old houses where the sewer backs up because the pipe that was connecting the house to the sewer backs up, and what would happen if you had like a sewer backup or, a drain backup and that caused damage to your house, something like that, Wayne?
Very good question. You really don't know what's underneath the ground, right? You don't know what the pipes look like. You don't know how they're going to react to infrastructure. Anything breaks down like that. In terms of sewer or drain backup coverage, again, it's an optional coverage. So it's something that you would have to purchase as an endorsement added on to your standard homeowner policy. A standard homeowner policy is not going to cover sewer and drain backup unless you actually have that coverage listed on your policy.
Okay, good to know. But you can get an endorsement.
Yes.
Okay, so
And
that's
it's very
something.
cheap too. I mean, on average, you could get $10,000 worth of water and sewer backup coverage for as little as $80 a year. It's really cheap.
Good to know. So when you have a homeowner's policy, one of the things I always get asked about or people talk about is the personal property. Like if I have a Van Gogh in my house, which I don't, everybody don't have a Van Gogh. But if I did, if something happened to my Van Gogh, would it be covered under my homeowner's policy?
Another great question. Most standard homeowners policy has limits on certain things. The most popular things being jewelry, antiques, artwork. So most of the insurance policies have a limit, on average $1,500. So if you have an expensive Van Gogh at your house,
Right.
you need to list that particular artwork on your policy with the value. So if there was something to happen to that artwork, it'll be replaced fully for you.
Okay. So it doesn't automatically cover that expensive personal property. What if I had a car in a garage and I had a fire and I didn't have the car documented as a personal property and I had a total loss? What would happen in that situation?
Yeah, great question again. There's going to be two scenarios here. The auto insurance would cover the damages for the vehicle. The homeowner's policy would be covering the damage to the home. So we're talking about two separate things. The nice thing is some companies do lump the deductibles, so you're paying out less in case of that instance to happening.
Okay. I hear all the time, dogs and pools, right? Dogs and pools. What happens if my dog, or tell me what is my exposure on a dog or an animal if that horrible situation would happen where they bit somebody or cause damage to something? What would a homeowner's policy cover in that situation?
Yeah, it's actually something that your agent should be asking those questions up front for you. You're going to want to make sure that you let your agent know that you have a pool. I mean, they're going to do a home inspection anyway, so they're going to find out on that whether you have a dog. Now, they can't charge you extra for the type of breed of dogs anymore. They used to be able to charge you if you had a dog at your house.
So if you had a Chihuahua, it would be different than like a bull mastiff or something like that?
Or if you had some aggressive dog, they could say, no, we don't want to insure you.
But they can't do that anymore.
They can't do that.
That's cool. That's cool. I got a little guy and a big guy.
Sometimes the little dogs can be
Yeah,
more
sometimes
than
the little dogs are definitely much. I think that happens with people too sometimes.
That definitely happens with people.
What about like another one. Geez, trampolines.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Trampolines those things can be dangerous.
They are a very dangerous thing. The insurance companies know that a lot of accidents happen with trampolines. It's one of the questions during the application process of the homeowner's policy that they're going to ask.
So one of the questions when you're applying for the insurance is do you have a trampoline?
Yeah, it's always there.
And what is if I say no and I have a trampoline?
They're usually going to see it during the home inspection, but
So how are they doing home inspections these days?
most of them are third-party companies in New York State. At least they are. Well, they'll hire this third party to do the inspection. They come around, take pictures of the house, do some measurements, making sure that they're insuring what's actually on the paper.
Oh, good. Didn't know that either. So I got to put my trampoline away real quick.
It might take some time.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times.
Okay. We're going to close it out. We only have a few minutes left in this session with pools. Pools are awesome, but they probably have risks associated with them. If somebody was at my house in a pool, gets hurt, something happens bad, does a homeowner's policy cover it?
Yeah, it actually does. That's probably the most important part of a homeowner's policy is the liability section.
Okay.
You don't want to go with the low limits on that. Make sure that you're getting the most liability coverage. You don't want to get sued in case somebody gets injured, anything like that.
Is that just if you have a pool, or is that consistent across the board?
That's in general. We know that legal cost and liability is a big issue.
Okay.
So
Legal cost, does that eat into your liability
yeah,
bucket? So if
Yep.
you have to hire attorneys and stuff, that would be part of the cost of your liability.
yeah, yep. And we're just talking about a homeowner's policy. Probably liability is probably the most important part of an insurance policy, whether it's your home, auto, whatever. So I mean, beyond getting an umbrella, which we'll talk about in another episode.
Sure. Yeah. Umbrella policies are coming, folks. We promise. Well, that is super informative and super cool. Again, this is gaps and glue. So again, we uncover the gaps so that you guys can understand what those gaps might be. And the glue is to make sure you get your proper endorsements, make sure things in your personal property are documented, make sure you don't have too many crazy dogs. That's never good.
No.
Don't want too many crazy dogs. Keep people safe in the pool. Wayne, thank you so much for your time. Make it a great day.